Welcome back. We continue with stories around Women's Day. Women across the country are being honored for their bravery and fight against discriminatory systems. 65 years since the historic march, women still face other challenges in society, including equality. In 1956, women marched to Pretoria to the Union buildings, protesting against apartheid pass laws. eNCA's Silindelo Masikane caught up with some women at the Union buildings a little earlier today.
We're still out here on the streets of Pretoria speaking to women from all backgrounds regarding the day today, where we are commemorating and we are celebrating Women's Day, which is, of course, acknowledging the March of 1956, where we saw women coming to this particular building here, the Union buildings, to deliver a memorandum against the pass laws. I am joined, of course, now by one young woman from the ANC National Youth Task Team. Ms. Nongaba, give us a sense of what young women today require in terms of their challenges and the solutions.
I think, one, our enemy remains patriarchy. We still find patriarchy entrenched in all spheres in society, whether it's the workplace, whether it's the political space where I'm involved in, whether it's within the domestic space. Patriarchy remains the enemy, and I really do think that that is the one thing that we have to unite against as young women, and ensure that we are able to really have a program of action that's going to speak to the unity of young women in this country in our fight for a non-sexist society.
Moving forward, Nongeba, in terms of, like you said, the political space in particular, still very male-dominated. I know the ANC Women's League in particular calling for a woman president. Just how feasible is this? How can this become a reality?
Well, firstly, you have an NYTT. For the first time, the Youth League is led by a young woman. I think that's progress. The majority of our structure, in fact, we have, I think, about 19 or 17 women out of 28. But you still see that not cascading down to the lower structures. It's very odd and problematic, in fact, that you have an organization like the ANC, even the ANC Youth League, where the general membership is women, but the leadership is not. That in itself is a manifestation of patriarchy. And I think we have to be very deliberate in affirming women's leadership in structures of the organization. We have to be very deliberate. If we say we want a female president or a woman president of the ANC, it's not going to happen by chance. We have to work for it. And I think that we need to really become very deliberate in affirming leadership of women in our structures as an organization.
And moving forward for young people, women in particular, when it comes to those societal issues, gender-based violence, economic emancipation, your message to young women who have probably given up?
I think we need to have a message to young women and to young men, because remember, as young women, we are the victims of the system, and the perpetrators. So if we only speak to us, or we speak to ourselves, we're not solving the problem. So one, I think we need to continue fighting, and we must continue fighting. So the struggle must continue. The struggle for a non-sexist, non-racial, united and prosperous South Africa must continue. But also we need to have conversations with the young men in our spaces to make them understand that they continue to benefit from a system that is inherently discriminatory towards us, and we can only coexist when we both understand what the conditions of that particular system bring for both genders.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is Ms. Nongeba Mhlauli from the National Youth Task Team of the ANC.